Hello, and here, not so long awaited, is my rare and out-of-print music collection, volume number 5. There's going to be probably a lot more coming where this started, so, let's get to work here. The first on the list is this album, Louis Johnson's Evolution. Now, as you all know, or might know, he was the bassist for the Brothers Johnson, and this is also the same record label that not too long ago reissued the Brothers Johnson album from around the same period called Out of Control. And this album is very similar to that one. Now, I know, if you look on Amazon.com, you may think this is not so rare, but this is actually a rare edition. This is the Jeff Lorber Fusions Wizard Island album. I don't know if you can make out clearly among these people, but the guy kind of walking away from the group on this corner here, right there, it's Kenny G. See that? We was still Kenny Gorelick. This is an original Arista print of the album. You can see by the spine and by the back that that's what it is. So this makes that kind of rare. This Van Morrison album I found at my local music store, and it seems to have had the distinction of being put out of print at least 4 times already. It's a period of transition from 1977. It's an album he did with Dr. John. Really good, funky music, if you like that kind of thing. I never thought, for the life of me, I would see this album on CD. This is Cameo's Alligator Woman. It was reissued by the same label that put out Rufus's Party Till You're Broke, and unfortunately went out of print just as fast, and is really a collector's item now, and it's an excellent album by Cameo from 1982. This is Third World. They're a reggae act, famous for working with Stevie Wonder in the early 80s. And on this 1987 album, they worked with Gamble and Huff of the Philadelphia sound to create a pretty interesting hybrid, and this is also out of print. I'm glad I found that one. I have a lot of Ramsey Lewis, and here's another Ramsey Lewis for you, Keys to the City from 1987. It's a very good album, follow-up to Fantasy, again out of print, getting kind of hard to find, so I'm very happy I found that one. This album has been reissued a lot, and actually is available on a twofer with another of his albums, Gino Vanelli's Black Cars. This is an original CD edition from the One Way label, released in 2001. Actually pretty valuable now, standing on its own, so I'm glad I got that. This CD is another one of those that's been in and out of print, and this edition from 1998 from Eagle Records is really, 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 really tough to find these days. And it's a great album, very much like Elton John's Leather Jackets from the previous album, very underrated for Steve Miller. Has some really interesting songs on it, some really catchy ones too. Here's another Steve Miller rarity, Circle of Love. A lot of people don't consider this one of his best albums because of what it came after, but it's hard to find now, and especially in this kind of good condition. This is a very good CD that is in good shape, and the sound quality is excellent. It's from a 1994 reissue on Sailor Records. This I found in the local record store dirt cheap, and this is a really hard to find one now. Hubert Law's Romeo and Juliet. A great funky fusion album from 1976. I had it on vinyl but replaced it with the CD, and I'm really happy I did. And now, the next 3 albums are all actually by the same artist, but they become increasingly hard to find. The 1998 reissue of Elton John's Leather Jackets album. As you can see, it's from the Elton John reissue series, most of which are in print now. This contains 5 bonus tracks, and this edition's been out of print for quite a long time, and is one of the harder ones to get because it wasn't one of his most popular albums, but it deserves more recognition than it actually gets. I think so. This is, I think, a somewhat newer reissue, 21 at 33. In my opinion, not quite the same level of quality musically as A Single Life, A Single Man, actually, but it's a really good album, and I'm glad I got a hold of it. It doesn't contain bonus cuts, but more than worth having this one. This is also from the same series, the British reissue on Rocket Records, Jump Up. They were made available not too long after the bonus track remaster series were This again has no bonus cuts, but there's a lot of good songs on this album, and I think it's really quite underrated as well. So that's my newest volume of rare CDs, and there's a lot more coming up. So I'll make them available as they become available. But enjoy what I have so far, and see you all later.